Today on Suncoast Views, summer is over. It is the first day of school here on the Suncoast. It's not just about reading and writing. It's also about these guys being part of Sarasota schools. We'll tell you who they are and why they're here.
A therapy dog can make all the difference for those in the final stages of life. We'll learn how Tidewell Hospice uses furry friends to comfort patients.
And we'll celebrate World Elephant Day. You will not believe all the different pachyderm-themed products that are out there. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show and welcome back to school for Sarasota and Manatee and the whole area today.
Yeah.
What an exciting day. Remember how exciting the first day of school always is?
I always was nervous. I would lay out my clothes the night before and then change my mind right before it was time to get dressed.
Oh, I remember what I wore to school the first day in 8th grade. And I'll bet I can go through every year and tell you what I wore to school. I know you want to hear this.
Yes, please.
It doesn't get any less stressful though, because I have two freshmen in high school and you know, suddenly the big macho tough boys were a little uncertain. I got a lot of texts this morning. You know, there's bus routes. You got to have ID cards to do this and juggling that. And, you know, it's a new procedure for a lot of kids.
Oh, we had a kindergartner. Lila started at Bayhaven today. Her brother's a big second grader, so he's cool. But she was very nervous. But she said in 2 days she will not be nervous.
Aww.
And I get to go pick her up with my daughter. They don't trust me to do it by myself yet, so I have to have several practice runs with a driver.
What are you going to do wrong, just out of curiosity?
Maybe I couldn't find her.
Okay.
Or, you know, you've got to get them in the car seats at this age.
Right.
So I might not be fast enough to get her in the car seat. So that's the part that bothers me.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'll be the most nervous person.
Yeah, I was going to say, see, the adults are nervous as well, but we're excited to have a great school year starting for everybody. And Monday, so we're wrapping up our weekend plans, and I know you did some fun stuff with the kids over the weekend.
Oh, we went to see Rockin' Down Fairy Tale Lane at the West Coast Black Theater. It was awesome. We took the 5-year-old and the 8-year-old and my daughter, Kathy. And Kathy and I love the show because it does have all these funny things for adults, and the kids thought it was the most awesome thing they had ever seen.
Oh, I love
They were so
it.
sad. It lasted about 2 hours. They were so sad when it was over. They asked if it was going to start again. You know, they're used to Netflix.
Oh, I love that your grandkids are into theater already, because if you can get them young, then they will always love it.
Well, my grandson was wondering how little Sammy, who is so awesome, who's Jack and the Beanstalk, they wondered how he got that job.
Oh, okay. So you may have some auditions coming up if we've got theater kids. I love it. Well, good. I'm glad you got a chance to see that. We're always excited to enjoy the local theater with everybody. We're also excited to see a familiar face in the kitchen today. We welcome back Lisa from Glen Family Bakery. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
What are we making today?
We are making our very popular now vegan, gluten-free coconut mounds cup. Tastes like the candy bar.
All right. I like the sounds of that, and always nice to have some gluten-free sweet availabilities, because I know sometimes those are hard to find. So we'll join you to learn more about that coming up. So it's not just the beginning of a new school year, but soon it's going to be the beginning of a new television season as well. All the big premieres coming out. And Joey, you said there have been some questions about some of the ABC switch-ups.
Yes, and I've been stopped at the Y when I'm working out with some questions, and we actually got a few emails. One, we heard from one of our viewers, Cassidy, who wrote in and said, I keep seeing ads for a new hour of GMA, of Good Morning America. Is it replacing you at 9? I don't want to miss seeing you all. So I'm sad for Cassidy that she was concerned, but I'm a little happy that she was afraid she might not see us. The good news is that extra hour will not be replacing us. We will be at 9 still. Good Morning America is adding an extra hour, but it'll actually be in the afternoon. It'll be at 1 p.m.
I admit that scared me when I first saw it. I thought, have they fired me and they just haven't told me yet?
No, it's interesting because they're going to call it, you know, obviously it's GMA, but it's going to be at 1 p.m. See, GMA standing for Good Morning America. Yeah. It's a little, if you're just getting up at 1, I'm jealous of that.
I played around with, like, maybe what if it was Good Afternoon America, and then it could be GAA, but no.
Too weird. So they're calling it GMA Day is what it is. So
Good
that'll
Morning
be
America
Yep.
Day.
So it's a third hour of the morning show with a familiar cast. You'll see Sarah Gaines and Michael Strahan.
Yes.
We'll both be there hosting that.
It should be very interesting.
It's expected to be taped, so I don't think it'll be live, but it'll still be, you know, they have great chemistry, the two of them,
Yeah,
so that'll
they
be
do.
fun.
And this would be a long day for them because I think they get to work about 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening anyway.
Yeah,
We're on at
we're
9.
here.
GMA Day will be on at 1 p.m. It is time for our first hot topic, and it is the first day of a new school year here on the Suncoast. This year, Sarasota County Schools is partnering with the Gulf Coast Community Foundation to introduce the Civility Squad. Those little guys you see there, they're a cast of cartoon characters to emphasize 10 principles of civility that should always be present at school. Things like staying positive, saying thank you, and listening to others will be emphasized throughout the school year. Gulf Coast says that we are saving our community one good deed at a time. What do you think?
Oh, I think that's the most important thing they'll learn. No matter what else you know, if you're not nice to other people, it can interfere with your career. It can certainly interfere between you and your spouse. Think of the road rage it could stop if people were just polite to each other.
Yeah, and when, much like we were talking about with your grandkids, when you can start that early, then it's so much easier than trying to fix behavior down the road that has grown. And Gulf Coast Community Foundation that's kind of a theme, I think, of what they're doing this year. They're trying to tackle problems before they start, you know, which is, you know, what do they say? You spend the time now and it'll save you down the road.
Well, and especially with the school situations. I mean, bullying's a big deal.
Yes,
and
it is.
Can be, you know, thwarted early on by just general acceptance and politeness and, you know, hopefully avoiding the big problems down the road. So, you know, we've talked so much about school security officers and all that kind of thing. Long before that, let's learn how to be nice to each other, and then maybe we won't have the other big problems that we have.
Don't you think, too, most kids at that age start that way? They start nice and then they learn the bad stuff, you know?
I'm not so sure.
No, I agree
I've
with
seen
that.
mine at 3 or 4 really slug each other, so I'm not really sure about that.
But I do think we have to teach it.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know?
yes.
I mean,
Yes,
you have
I
to
think it's
reinforce
learned
it.
behavior.
Absolutely. So it's not always our innate reaction to be nice, even as adults.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
it's good to continue.
And they're at
teaching
school
it.
for most of their day anyway, so it's good that they're learning it there.
Oh, those teachers have more of an impact than
Yeah.
parents in many situations.
And parents
so.
really have to enforce this at home, too, I think.
Yep, no, absolutely. Well, did you hear about the huge security breach at Seattle's airport over the weekend? A baggage handler got in an airplane and took off into the sky. The 29-year-old commandeered an empty commercial aircraft. He maneuvered it to a runway, took off, and had a joyride for about an hour and a half, complete with dangerous in-air maneuvers. So Richard Russell actually had full credentials to be near the plane as a baggage handler when he stole it, but that brings up some scary thoughts about security on the tarmac. The plane eventually crashed into a remote area and Russell was killed. It is completely frightening to think that someone who's allowed to be there hopped in an airplane, turned it on, drove it off, and sent it into the sky. Because had he had malice on his mind, that would have been the next thing he could have accomplished.
Yes, and there are probably hundreds of people like that that have access to planes. They do have clearance, I'm sure of that, but you could hear him talk as he was piloting the plane, and then he said he was going down. He seemed normal. You know, he was sort of light and happy and normal and said, now, okay, here I go, and I'm sorry for all the embarrassment I've caused. But I'm not sure that would show up if you took a test on it.
Exactly. And can you scan every baggage handler? I mean, they said this morning there's no way.
Well, to get clearance to even be near the plane, that is the question. Like, how much do they check their background? How much do they vet them? That's
I think this one
frightening.
would have come up clear.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
as Linda said,
right.
there was nothing to indicate the
Right.
guy was going to try to take the plane for a joyride.
Wow.
Not a trained pilot. Said he learned by playing video games.
Yeah. Poor judgment. It almost sounded like when someone is in a manic episode. The
Yes.
quotes that I heard
Yes.
this morning sounded like he was in a manic. And to make a choice of saying, "Oh, there's a plane, let me fly it," I would imagine.
But regardless of that guy, the fact that the access is there, should someone again decide to use a plane as a weapon. You know, we've talked so much about how to keep them from getting into the airport, but what if they're already there legally?
And this is a dumb question, but is it like the keys are in the car kind of a situation? How do you just start a plane, you know?
I guess that's a good question, Joey. I never thought of that.
They did say the planes are unlocked and it doesn't require keys to start. I'm assuming
really?
it's button pushing of some sort. But
You know, like a security
he knew
code
enough
or
about
something.
what he was doing, that's for sure.
Have you ever looked in one of those pilots' cabins, though? I mean, all those controls.
Right. It looks completely overwhelming, but
It
I guess
does.
if you spend some time around it, you know the basics.
He played video games.
And maybe if you play enough video games, I'm sure there's a computer YouTube that tells you how to
Yep,
do all
that's
this.
true.
This is a scary world.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of scary situations, another airplane issue. For parents whose kids were traveling alone on Frontier Airlines and headed to Orlando. So the plane had to divert due to bad weather and land in Atlanta for the night. So these are the kids. They were ages 7 and 9. They were taken to a hotel room by a Frontier supervisor until they could fly out the next morning. Now, the problem, the parents say they did not know what was happening right away once that plane got diverted, and that Frontier did not ask permission before transporting the kids. The kids borrowed a cell phone to eventually call their parents and tell them where they were. Did Frontier do the right thing?
No.
They should have gotten in touch with those parents instantly.
Yeah.
When they knew the plane was going to be diverted, they should have gotten in touch with them.
This is what I don't get. So if the kid, you have kids that young that are flying, and they must have the gate agent who takes them.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
When a flight does get diverted, doesn't it pop up somewhere? Oh, there are 2 unattended kids on that flight. We should handle that immediately.
Right.
Well, I think they handled it. I don't think they called either quickly enough or certainly in the right order.
But you've got to divert the plane.
Right.
The airline had no choice
Sure,
in
sure.
that.
And they have to do something with the kids. I mean, my first thought is, well, at least they weren't sleeping in Atlanta airport,
No,
because that's what
true.
the rest of us would have been
But
doing.
not notifying the parents is the problem. I have packages from Amazon coming to my house, and I get notified with every
Exactly.
time
With a
they're
picture
delayed.
of them.
And they're automatic. You would think that something like that the parent would have automatically been tipped.
Having flown unaccompanied children a couple of times, you do sign an awful lot of things that say, I am turning the kids over to your care to make the decisions necessary in events that come up. That is something you are forced to sign, and that is also why they charge you, is because you are, basically asking for babysitters. So, I mean, I think they handled it correctly in terms of the decision made. I just think there needed to be more communication, because obviously the parents were having heart failure.
But what it says to me is I will not fly my grandchildren in Atlanta by themselves to Sarasota. I just don't want to take any chances.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and it's interesting because most all of the airlines have the rule that when you fly unaccompanied, you have to fly direct. Well, this was a direct flight. It was Des Moines to Orlando. But you know how summer storms are. If you get to the point where you can't land and you can't get in the airport, they're going to divert.
Right.
So it's just some of the things that happen. So yeah, it is scary because I mean, with divorce and stuff, a lot of people have to fly their kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, stuff happens. So big changes are coming in next year's Academy Awards ceremony and broadcast. Did you watch this year's show? Well, if not, you're not alone, because it had the lowest rated telecast on record. So many say the show is long and boring. There's 24 competitive awards, yet most people only care about a few key ones. So now only select categories will be done live. The others will be taped during commercial breaks and edited just to air that winning moment later in the show. That's a little more similar to the Tony Awards. There will also be a new category for Outstanding Achievement in Popular Film to include more films that the public actually goes to see.
I think that's a good idea in both cases. I almost fall asleep every year watching the Academy Awards, waiting for that big one on the end.
And it used to be an event to sit down and watch them, and I do not get that feeling from anybody anymore. I mean, you can get the results on Twitter.
I don't like this, actually, because I feel like it's going to be a lot of the artistic categories are going to be the ones that don't get any airtime. But if people aren't watching, they have to do something, or else the show is going to go away altogether. You know, so I realize that they have to adapt. The popular, now it feels more like a People's Choice Award.
Yeah,
I don't know that I love that, because I don't always choose the best movies for myself. But if something wins Best Picture, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should go see that.
But I think they deserve to win an award for being so popular.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
even if it's not the greatest artistic event of the year, the fact that it is the movie that everybody paid to go see, that deserves
Right. And the
some
people
credit.
voting are the people that work on movies. When we lived in Los Angeles, we would go and see some of those before they came out. And those are the people that have a different perspective. You know, how was it edited? All these things. For us, it's the story it tells and the excitement
That's
that
true.
it
I guess,
generates.
you know, you were changing my mind about that category, because maybe it is a nice opportunity to honor a movie that doesn't have the weight of a Best Picture, but still deserves something. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be picked on. You know, it'll be like well, you won popular, but you
Well,
didn't win Best
they're calling it
Picture.
the Popcorn Award.
Yes.
Because it's not considered like very weighty by any means.
yeah.
But you know, again, if it's made money, hey, isn't
Most
that the point?
improved.
Isn't that the point? So unicorns are kind of known for fun and fantasy, but it was anything but a fairy tale girls weekend on a lake in Minnesota. Sheriff's deputies reported a group of women on this large unicorn. It's kind of like a floating party boat. They got stuck in a lake in Minnesota, and they weren't really out in the water. They were just kind of stuck in the weeds a few feet out. Deputies actually had to throw a rope and pull the women back in.
So they went out on a lake on a unicorn without a paddle.
And they had a small paddle, but it wasn't enough to get the job done. And that is the biggest unicorn I have ever seen. I mean, you know, we all have unicorn and swan floats around
Yes, we do.
in our pools and whatnot.
I have
but
one.
Not that size.
No,
I mean,
not
there were
that
4
size.
adult women hanging out on that thing.
And you know, they're all dressed up all that, so they are not going in that water. Somebody could have swam to shore, but I think they're not even
Well,
going to
looked a
try
little
that.
murky.
in
I was
clothes.
thinking they were probably going to be embarrassed, but if you go out in a float that large, you are wanting to be seen. So that's
Maybe not by the whole world.
just their pride is probably injured
I think
for not being able to
there
make
may have
it.
been beverages involved as well. I'm somewhat thinking by looking at the video. So keep your unicorns in check. We're going to check our mid-morning forecast. And when we come back, we're going to talk to a Ringling professor who's also a published novelist.
So we look at a few scattered showers near the coastline again tomorrow morning, with the heaviest of the rain staying offshore for the remainder of the morning hours. By afternoon, as the futurecast shows, the tendency will be for these showers to kind of migrate inland and dissipate. We'll be left with a partly cloudy sky. And then tomorrow morning, I think we'll probably do it all over again, with a few scattered showers popping up near the coastline because of the westerly wind flow that we'll have. A little bit of cloud cover around, but enough sunshine poking through to raise our temperature up to about 90 once again today. The westerly wind carries on for a couple more days, with high pressure located just to our south. But over the next several days, the high starts lifting north, and eventually will develop that southeasterly wind flow, which will favor those showers developing inland late in the afternoon and then slowly drifting back to the coast. Kind of standard for this time of year. Forecast for today calls for a daytime high that tops out near 90 with a 30% rain chance.
There is nothing better than curling up with a good mystery novel. And it's even more fun when you can meet the author and get personally acquainted with him and his characters. And so we welcome our next guest, Sarasota resident and author Philippe Diedrich, aka Danny Lopez. Congratulations on your new book. It is called The Last Breath.
The Last Breath.
The
That's
Last Breath. Oh, that sounds very, very good. Now, why a pen name? You are Philippe, and yet you write as Danny Lopez.
Well, I wrote 2 other books as Philippe, and Philippe Diedrich is a really long, complicated name. Danny Lopez is easy to remember. It's a combination of Danny DeVito and George Lopez.
Oh,
But also, my agent suggested it's a different genre, and they say that readers don't really skip genres. They don't go from a romance to a mystery, or from a literary novel to a mystery. So the idea is to create a different brand.
so are you really all these characters, plus you are Dexter Vega? That's the character you're writing about. That's your series.
Right. Dexter Vega is a laid-off reporter from the Sarasota Herald who takes
I know
on
him.
investigating. And
Really?
that's what he does to make a living.
So are you also him?
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit. So you were never a reporter, but you were a photojournalist.
I was a photojournalist for about 15 years. I worked at the Sarasota Herald for 2 years. And a lot of my friends there got laid off. A lot of people in newspaper business are
Yes.
getting laid off. So that's kind of how the idea came about. He's kind of a little bit of an angry guy because of his, he really believed in journalism and what he was doing to change the world, make things better. And instead, he's kind of a bitter guy.
Now, you are a professor at Ringling and a very successful author, but it didn't always start at the top. You started at the very bottom. I read that about you.
Sure, well, we all do, right? I mean, I started working at a gas station, and I washed dishes. I worked in a photographer's photo lab. So little by little, just kind of climbed the ladder, worked at a small newspaper. So, yeah.
Well, so what made you write your first book?
Well, the first book is actually called Sofrito, and when I was a photojournalist, I used to meet all these writers, and I thought they had the best life because they didn't have to be out there doing anything. They kind of hung out at the bar and wrote. And I said, I want to do that.
Yeah, me too.
So-
That sounds pretty good.
I know. It's actually not like that.
Oh, really?
That's what I discovered. So, yeah, so I started writing this book. I had spent a lot of time in Cuba, so I wrote a book about a Cuban American returning to Havana to try to find a recipe, secret recipe to save his restaurant. And that became my first book.
And then how'd you get it published?
Oh, that's another story. After about 10 years and maybe 150 rejections and a lot of revisions, I eventually found somebody that was interested in that subject matter, and it just happened to coincide with the time when Obama lifted some of the sanctions against Cuba for traveling to Cuba. So it worked out fairly well.
Oh, very good.
So I think things were kind of lined up.
Well, tell me the plot of your latest book.
So in The Last Breath, Dexter Vega contacts a very wealthy individual who lives at the Sanderling in Siesta Key, and whose son drowned in the Intercoastal, but his son was a very good swimmer, so he doesn't believe the police report and wants to find closure. So he hires Dexter to find out exactly what happened. And the whole story takes place, probably about 90% of it takes place in Siesta Key, and goes to all the different haunts there, and there's some development scams going on with closing Beach Road and all that's going on right now.
Oh my goodness, these are things we will recognize.
Exactly.
But is the rest of the country as interested in these things as we are? Maybe because so many people come to the most beautiful beach in the world.
Well, that's a good question, and I guess we're going to find out when the book comes out.
Well,
One thing I like is about your publisher, because your publisher is based here on the Suncoast.
Yes.
So that's interesting to me, that not only are we able to have such great authors here, but we're also seeing a lot of publishing coming out locally. Is that how you chose them?
Yes. Well, what I did is I did a search for who is publishing mysteries, commercial mystery publishers specifically, and that's kind of what they do. So I said, well, let me check these guys out. And then I looked at their website, and I see that they were in Longboat Key. Now they're downtown. And I said, well, let me send it to these guys, and they liked it. The Last Girl, which is the first one, takes place, half of it takes place here in Sarasota, and half of it takes place in Mexico City. So it's a little bit more international, and as far as the mystery is concerned.
So we're getting a lot of mystery books published right here on the Suncoast.
Yes, I love that. Those are my favorite books too. So you've got The Last Girl and The Last Breath, so you're working your way through Last Things.
Yes, the next one's probably going to be The Last Drop of Blood, I think.
Has something already inspired you?
I have a general idea. It's nothing specific, but it might take place in Key West. That's what I know.
Ah, very interesting.
Yeah.
What a great life you have.
Oh, thanks.
And I cannot wait to read this book, The Last Breath. So don't miss it. And for more information on Danny Lopez and his Dexter Vega series and more books that he has written, go to oceanviewpub.com. Next, a quick kitchen lesson on some basic mixing techniques.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398, or visit SoClean.com today.
So all of us in our kitchens have something that looks like this.
We do.
You know, the utensil
We do.
drawer that's a big, huge mess. So I have asked Lisa from Glen Family Bakery to kind of go through our utensil mess and at least give us some useful tips on organization and honestly a clue on which utensils I should be using for which tasks.
So yes, we all have the messy
It's such a
drawer
mess.
or, you know, the thing, the little vase with,
Right,
with
stuff
everything
stuck in
stuck
it.
in there. So a tip for your drawer, if you don't have it organized, put the things that you use the most on the top, on the side. So I use my whisk, my spatula,
Okay.
and I use my cookie scoop a lot. So I have it all on the side.
Okay.
Everything else can kind of go to the other side where you're scraping through, but you want easy access.
Okay, for
so
sure.
if you don't have, you know, the little organizers, which it would be the way to go.
But
I mean,
sometimes
let's
they
be
don't
face
fit
it.
the odd shaped
And they
things.
don't fit your utensil
Right.
necessarily.
Yeah. All right,
So-
now I have a question because this is a huge debate in my house.
Oh, gosh.
What you use a scraper for versus what you use a spoon for, and is it okay to use this on hot things or all of these things? So you
there's-
pulled some for us.
So I did. First of all, let's talk about the wooden spoons.
Okay.
No, they're not just for running around, you know, tapping your
Hitting
children
things.
on the bottom. Wooden spoons are used for two things. One, to not transfer heat. So if you're stirring something and you don't want the heat transferred from the spoon
to your hand.
you use a wooden spoon. The other tip is in the baker's world or in the chef's world is when you coat the back of a wooden spoon, how well it sticks means it's set. So a lot of people will run their finger down if it doesn't bleed back in, then you know that your pudding or your custard or your
it's
pastry
set.
cream is set and
Now,
it's ready.
are these better for just basic stirring than, say, a plastic version?
Well, there's a couple ways that you can think about it. Say you have a brownie mixture. The best way for you to incorporate everything together is going to be a rubber spatula. And there's two types of rubber spatula. This one's a hard, straight spatula. So this is really good for folding. So you're
Okay.
getting underneath and folding back through without losing all of the air that's in your bowl.
Right.
However, the rubber spatula that has some give to it and that is curved, that's what you're going to use to take your cake mix out or your brownies
Okay.
out so you can get all the way to the bottom of the bowl and it's going to scrape. It's got a larger surface.
Okay, now is it okay to make those heated and hot if you're working with a sauce
You know
or
what?
scrambling
So
eggs or?
You can, however, you don't want to let this surface touch your pan surface.
Okay.
So it's okay for it to be within the food.
All right.
But not necessarily touch the
So
hot
I should tell my
surface
husband
itself.
we don't scramble
Yes.
eggs with these.
Right, exactly.
It's a big debate
or
at
you
my
can
house.
see on this one, we use it in the Cuisinart sometimes and it hits
Oh, it
the
hits
blade.
the blade.
so
Yeah, you know
that's
what?
another reason.
I'm glad your utensils look like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too. Now tell me about whisking because it's a command you see in recipes all the time.
So whisking is used to incorporate air.
Okay.
And there's all of this surface that's open, and that's so the air can flow through. So often you'll see, like on the chef shows, you'll see people whipping cream like in a copper bowl. So it incorporates air. I love to use the whisk for eggs.
Okay.
So if you're going to do like an omelet,
Right, keep
or
it
you're going to
fluffy.
scramble eggs, exactly, to keep
So
it fluffy.
when you see a recipe command that says whisk together, take it seriously. It says whisk for a
Right.
reason?
Exactly.
Okay, doesn't
Right.
mean we should just be stirring
Right.
it.
So the difference, so when you have the rubber spatula, you're using this to keep the air and the
Okay.
fluffiness. This is creating it.
All right, so if your utensil drawer looks like this, hopefully
It's
this helps a little
okay.
bit. Yep, even the professionals have drawers like this, but they've got great advice on how to use our tools. Thanks, Lisa. We're excited to join you to make the sweets coming up in just a little bit. But first, we celebrate everything elephant. Stay with us.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Introducing the ABC7 First Alert Weather Tracker. This all-new mobile weather lab is just one more way. The team you trust is keeping you ahead of the storms. The ABC7 First Alert Weather Tracker, sponsored by Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Six years ago, World Elephant Day was launched on August 12th to bring attention to the plight of Asian and African elephants who suffer from illegal poaching and the ivory trade. And in many cultures, the elephant is also considered to be a symbol of good luck and good fortune. So to celebrate this gentle giant, our gift girl, Kim Livingood from the Eclipse Agency, has something elephant for everyone. And you literally do. Kim, you don't do anything in a small way, and we love it.
Great. There's lots of stuff out there.
Yes. So we've celebrated other animals with you. I know that we have we've looked at sharks, we have looked at unicorns. Elephants, I've never really noticed have been popular in pop culture.
The thing about elephants is they're supposed to bring good luck, as you said, so they're kind of a great thing to have around your house or to wear and to really to celebrate them and appreciate they're awesome animals. They're huge.
Yes, and I like that the day is tied to a bigger cause.
Yes. Right.
Also
to bring. Cause.
So there's some fun things here, but to remember that it is, it is important.
Can we address the big one first, though?
Yes,
literally.
We do have to address the elephant in the room. I've been dying to say that all morning.
Because there's an elephant in the room.
This
literally.
Is amazing. Kim,
What do you
tell us
do
about
with
this.
So this is, it's a sprinkler, actually. It's from Big Mouth, and you attach a hose to it, and water comes out of the top of the trunk.
That is amazing.
So you can play with it, you can cool it off. I had it on my front porch, and my husband's not going to let me keep it there.
That is so cool, because the kids will love the fact that you actually stick the hose in the rear side of it, and
Yes.
the water comes out the front. I mean, that alone would amuse everybody at my
I'm
house.
happy that sprinklers are popular again, because when I was a kid, they were, and it forced you to go outside and play when it got hot out.
And especially here, it's still hot, and after school, the kids can cool off.
I love it.
That is really cool.
That is really hysterical.
All right, so you also brought some more serious things. So let's start down on this end, starting with some clothes.
Yes, I have lots of fun items from Molly's Boutique here in Sarasota. She has a whole selection of different elephant animal items, from purses to T-shirts from Simply Southern. And I love the little travel pillow here at the end.
All right, I want to show that you showed me I can demo this.
Yeah, so turn it upside down.
Okay.
And then there's a zipper.
This feels like
This is a travel pillow?
It's a travel pillow. So then you shake out the stuff inside.
TSA would love this.
And then
oh, so the filling is in there, so that will then go into.
My goodness.
This is really cool.
You need to put that around your neck.
And then
Yes.
you put it around your neck. And then you have an elephant around your neck.
I look like I'm giving a piggyback to Dumbo, but it's adorable. And
so
it actually is pretty comfortable.
That is
and
so
you can
cute.
adjust
Yes,
it a little bit.
I love this.
So cute. And she's got bags from Spartina. Spartina's known for using a lot of great prints. And if you open that up, there's a elephant inside lining.
That's really pretty. It's very
People
elegant.
collect elephants. I have seen this on lists of things that
and I
people are
have to tell you,
interested in.
Mom, stop watching because my mother is a huge elephant lover, so she's really easy to shop for during the holidays. So I want her to stop watching. She's getting a lot of
getting
things.
some of these things.
Really cool. And jewelry as well.
Lots of jewelry, and a lot of the jewelry products give back to to the elephant rescue issues. So that's really nice.
A lot of conservation concerns I know with elephants.
Yes, and then Simply Southern loves elephants as well. And in fact, my dress is from Simply Southern. So cute.
And it's all elephants.
Really
all
cool.
elephants. It has pockets. It's so comfortable. And then they do lots of accessories. These are their camper socks that are coming out for the holidays. They are so soft, super comfy.
For that person, Stephanie, whose feet get cold.
Yes, Stephanie.
And then they have
grippers on the bottom.
Cute little socks. They have the pop sockets, all sorts of fun. And Stephanie, I know you mentioned this.
I do think that is adorable.
This
better,
is
better late than ugly.
Yes, super fun.
On the makeup bag.
That's great.
Super fun.
And then they make really beautiful designs too, like with your dress and with the prints here, they are very elegant.
Absolutely.
But then less whimsical, you can do other things with elephants.
I am so obsessed with this company that I found called Make Lab. These are all created on a 3D printer.
Oh,
so they have the little elephant succulent holder. You could also use an air plant. I think this was a bud vase, but I didn't find a bud, sorry. And
that's adorable.
This is the little watering can.
Oh, look at yours.
So it's made with a 3D printer, so do you choose the design ahead of time?
They have a ton of different colors that you can choose from, and they have an Etsy shop. So really great gift for the elephant.
So it comes to you made. We don't need the 3D printer.
No.
They're making it on the 3D printer. Got
Absolutely. And you pick your color. They have lots of different shapes. So really cool and clever company out of Brooklyn. Yes.
All right. I see my good old reliable Tervis. I love it.
Of course, Tervis would have great designs for elephants. You can find them at tervis.com or at their Tervis stores here in Osprey or St. Armands. Really pretty with the, they have whimsical ones, they have the actual photograph ones, so great designs from Tervis.
Yeah, very cute.
Love it. And then, all right, we love to support local business owners and artists, and you brought some stuff from the bazaar.
Yes, so these are from different things from the bazaar in Apricot and Lime, Sarasota's indoor market on the downtown edge. They have jewelry, collectibles, lamps, clothing, a little bit of everything that you could find for elephant lovers. One of my favorite little pieces is in the front. It's a essential oil diffuser from Kiln Fire Diffusers, and you put a little drop of essential oil on it and you wear it around your neck.
Oh, so it's a necklace that you hold your essential oil.
Oh, that's nice.
And talk about helping you be like an elephant with a good memory, bringing that back, and you can put the Focus essential oil in it to really help you keep focused and wear it all day and smell nice.
What a great idea.
Then they've got other, there's vendors with the jewelry. We've got the little onesies and
the onesie's adorable. The lamp is so cute.
Amazing.
I mean, you can fit the elephant theme into anything. So if you do have somebody that's into elephants, I love that there's so many options.
And it's not painfully obvious. You know, like that vase, that urn is beautiful, and it takes a little while to realize that the handles are
elephants.
Are the trunk.
But if you want it obvious, the dress is obvious. I will say that is a lot of elephants.
The sprinkler. There's no mistaking the sprinkler is an elephant as well. These are really cool stuff. Thank you, Kim. If you need a reminder of where to find any of these great products, you can always find the segment on our website at suncoastview.com. All right, we're going to get a little deeper into the elephant stuff while we go to break, but when we come back, Linda will introduce us to Chester and his very important job. Can't wait to meet him.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Ray Collins. Today at noon, first day of school on the Suncoast. Some 90,000 students are back in the classroom this morning. Locally, we'll have an update on the story at noon. And an update on the candidate, Melissa Howard, and her controversy. She's running for a state office. Her college says she fabricated her diploma. We'll have both sides of the story at noon. But first, here's the forecast from John Scalzi.
So our pattern remains unchanged. High pressure, basically to our south, provides us with this westerly wind flow. That encourages a few scattered showers near the coastline during the morning hours. followed by the showers building in the afternoon in inland areas. And the showers that build in inland areas should not affect the coastline, as they generally either die in place or drift further toward the other coast. So for the next several days, we'll watch for the west wind pattern to remain with us. Coastal showers first in the morning, followed by inland storms in the afternoon.
More energy?
Patty, what would you do if you had more energy?
Gosh. More energy? I'd probably be a happier guy. I wouldn't be so surly.
I'd exercise more. I'd have a lot more fun.
Salsa dancing.
Get a lot more done during the day.
Take piano lessons.
I can be better to other people.
Energy equals happiness.
The potential for greater energy is already inside of you. Now you can make the most of it with Super Beets from Human.
What is this? Is it a superfood?
Concentrated beet crystals.
It's non-GMO, which makes me super happy.
It passes the test. A+.
It starts with one of the healthiest vegetables for your heart, beets.
They're in here and I can just drink them.
Beets, probably the worst vegetable in the world.
I love beets.
Super Beets concentrates an essential nutrient found in beets to promote heart-healthy energy.
It's really yummy.
Shockingly not bad.
Well, that's good.
3 beets in here? Oh my gosh.
Super Beets helps increase circulation, supports healthy blood pressure, and gets more oxygen flowing throughout your body naturally, which means more healthy energy to make the most of your day.
Dance more often, maybe.
Find out how to get a free canister with your first order, plus bonus gifts.
Call 1-800-201-6681 or go to buysuperbeets.com.
I could definitely use a little more energy, especially if it's from a natural source like beets.
That even tastes good.
I'll finish this, by the way. I really like it.
Call now and find out how to get a free canister with your first order, plus free indicator strips that show how it's working. This offer isn't in stores, but we'll ship it free right to your door.
Feel strong and you feel healthy and you feel like you can accomplish anything.
Find your energy.
Call 1-800-201-6681 or go to buysuperbeets.com.
I would for sure drink this.
Super Beets from Human.
Get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Tidewell Hospice is dedicated to enhancing the life of people with advanced illnesses. They do this through programs like art and music, horticulture, and pet therapy. Joining us is Stacy Groff. She is the Director of Volunteer Services at Tidewell Hospice, and volunteer pet therapy team Karen Terry and Chester Terry. Welcome, you guys. So, Stacy, why do you have pet therapy? What do the patients get out of this?
So our patients at Tidewell Hospice live in nursing homes, assisted living, sometimes our general inpatient units, and their private homes, and oftentimes they can't take their pets where they're living. They've moved in with a family member. Facilities don't often allow pets unless they can take care of them when our patients are very sick. And just imagine if you've had a dog all your life and all of a sudden you can't have one with you anymore. We send our pet therapy teams in, and just seeing that dog, it brings back memories. It gives them something to touch, to feel that's soft, something that doesn't have an agenda. They're used to seeing nurses and social workers and people ask them a lot of questions. The dog just wants to hang out with them and have fun, and it's just a great thing for all of our patients.
And you do it in a lot of your facilities, right?
Almost all of our facilities. We do make sure that the patient does want a dog to visit. Some people, of course, have allergies or maybe aren't dog people, so we make sure that they want the visit, but we make hundreds of visits a month to patients and families.
Oh, I'll bet these two are very popular wherever they go. Karen and Chester Terry.
That's right.
He is Chester Terry too. So what reaction do you get when you go in to visit a hospice patient?
It's just the smile on the face, the recognition, people that are laying in bed and you can put the dog on the bed, and just the excitement, seeing them bond, quickly with a dog, and you're right. And many people have had dogs, and so when they see Chester, they can absolutely relate.
I bet you've had some very interesting experiences.
We have. Chester has this wave that he does. It's almost like a swim. He's like a wave swim. And one time we had a patient that was in the dining room, and we were not allowed to go into the dining room with the dog. So our patient waved from across the room, and Chester waved back.
Oh, his little feet were moving.
And then everybody in the dining room just waved at him. It was the funniest thing. And,
oh.
You know, but there's other times where we've visited patients that have dementia, and my husband and I will go. Never remember us. The people never remember us, but they remember Chester.
Oh.
And we saw one gentleman for about 5 or 6 months, and he always called Chester Killer. And then
because he looks very, very
dangerous. And then one day we just walked in, and he said, "Chester."
Oh.
And I was a babbling heap on the floor because it was just so amazing that he recognized him.
Now, what did you have to do as a pet owner to have the training necessary to have Chester be allowed to go to Tidewell?
I think that you know if your dog is a quiet dog. Chester doesn't really bark. Unless there's a rabbit.
And there are a few rabbits.
Yes, very few. But he's just very laid back, and we taught him very early from a puppy that he, you know, to be around noises, to be around wheelchairs, walking sticks. You know, we used to take him shopping with us, and if somebody dropped something, he wasn't bothered because he was, you know, he was around it all the time.
Right.
Yeah, so you know, it was quite easy with him, really.
Does he like going? Can you see any reaction in him?
Yes, absolutely. When we get to the nursing home, we put his scarf on, and then he knows he's going to work.
Right.
So he goes and he sniffs around everything, we pick him up, and then he visits everybody. And I have to tell you, we don't always just visit Tidewell patients. When we go into the nursing home, everybody recognises him and everybody gets a cuddle. So, you know, he brings a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Do you see a difference after he's been there, after these pets have been there?
We do. We hear, just like Karen said, sometimes the dementia patients that someone will say, oh, my mom hasn't spoken or said anything that makes sense in years. They remember the dog's name. They reach out. You think that they can't see, and they'll reach out to touch the dog. You don't get offended because the patient never remembers your name or who you are, but they remember that dog. They look forward to it. But you walk into a nursing home, and the staff there say, "Oh, look, there's Chester, there's Jazzy, there's Gidget." But I mean, it's like you're just kind of hanging out, and
it's nice
it's amazing.
To get a reaction from an animal when maybe nothing else is drawing them out.
Oh, yes. What a great joy you guys bring. Thank you so much for everything you do. And for more information on pet therapy and the many other programs that Tidewell Hospice offers, go to tidewellhospital.org. Next, a look at tomorrow's Suncoast View.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number, or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. or visit SoClean.com today.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC 7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
We can't not address the elephant in the room once again. If you miss it, we're celebrating World Elephant Day. And if you miss a day, you miss a lot. So something coming up fun tomorrow. We're going to compare life and golf. I know lots of people watching the big tournament over the weekend. This is a local guy who has his philosophy on golf. And the reason it's a philosophy is because he is Michael Zildjian. So he has a philosophy. And he said there's a lot of parallels between golf and life. And he wrote a book, and he's going to show up and tell us a little about it. Coming up next, we're going to show up in the kitchen because we have been eyeing these sweets. Glenn Family Bakery here to make goodies with us.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Stephanie Webb. Coming up today at noon, it is back to school for kids on the Suncoast. We're going to tell you about some of the big changes that parents will see this year and an update on the latest red tide condition here on the Suncoast. But first, let's check in with First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi.
So speaking of red tide, this westerly wind flow will continue over the next several days, southwesterly at about 10. That'll carry on for at least a couple more days. 2-foot seas, light chop on your bay and inland waters. Water temperature still warm at 87 degrees. Today, we'll have a daytime high that tops out near 90. We'll have about a 30% chance of showers. That'll be mostly in inland areas, and that will be the case probably tomorrow as well. And then as we head into the evening, all those showers tend to dissipate. Forecast for the next several days calls for that chance of rainfall to remain fairly high. Wednesday, a transition day to a more inland shower chance, and then less rain the weekend.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
Mascara adds depth to the eyes. Lipstick gives the mouth color and definition. And ALS paralyzes the body.
You look great, Mom. Thank you.
Slowly taking away the ability to move and eventually breathe.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
And welcome back. We are in the kitchen with Lisa from Glen Family Bakery, and we've been dying to get here all hour. Tell us what we're making.
Today we are making vegan, gluten-free Mounds cups. This is what the finished product looks like. You can see in the center.
Candy bar.
So the middle is a coconut chocolate ganache, and the cups are toasted coconut that we make in the oven. And then what we're going to start today, I'm going to have Linda do the cups. I'm going to have Steph make the ganache.
Okay.
So we've got our soy-free chocolate, and then we've got our coconut milk. We use full fat coconut milk to make the ganache.
Okay.
The light coconut milk tends to not have enough of a fat level in there to be really creamy, like a nice ganache.
So can I go ahead and put these in?
We're going backwards. We're going this way.
Okay.
So you go ahead and you pour it all over your chocolate.
Okay.
Just eat that with a spoon.
Yeah, I was going to say,
just eat it with a spoon. And just keep all the way to the bottom. And that's the nice part is using a stainless steel bowl keeps the heat.
Right.
So the chocolate's going to continue to melt. And give it a good, don't be afraid to get in there except for getting it all over you.
That's
So Linda, what I'm going to have you do is we're going to give this pan a quick spray with our pan spray.
Okay.
These are going to actually go in the oven and they're going to toast for a couple of minutes to make our cups.
That'll taste even better.
Perfect.
This is a really good idea that you can use coconut as a base for a, holding
Exactly, and you
things.
can fill it with anything that you like. So we're just going to take a handful and put it into each of the cups.
That much?
Yep, all the way to the top.
Too much? All the way?
Nope.
Oh.
Because we're going to press it in there and we're going to have it be perfect and we're going to have it be the cup. So these get baked for about 5 minutes in the oven till they just turn golden brown.
Is there anything with the coconut to hold it together, or is that just coconut?
The coconut has vegan shortening.
Okay.
And that's something that you can get Earth Origins, Whole Foods, Richards. And then it's got a little bit of unfiltered, unprocessed coconut oil.
Making a mess.
You know what? They are messy. They are messy.
These would be fun for the kids,
though. That's the beautiful part.
The kids would love to dig in and do
You're doing
this.
great. So now you're just going to go ahead and I'll show one. I'll show you one.
That side and I'll do this one.
So we're going to push all the way out to the side like you're making a little cup.
Okay.
And because there's coconut oil and the shortening in there, it holds it together, so it adheres. So while Linda's doing that, how's that look, Steph?
I
Does
think
it
we're
look
pretty
nice
good.
and smooth?
I think we're pretty good here.
Perfect.
Got it all the way down to the bottom.
So by the magic of TV cooking,
we love that. Oh, there
like
they are.
I said, they go in for like 5 minutes, and when they come out of the oven, they look like this.
Okay, that's
so they're
amazing.
just a little browned
Like a
on the
nest.
edge,
Oh,
and like
yes.
it's a little nest. So because this hasn't quite set up yet, it's still very warm. We're just going to go ahead, and this is the ganache that we've pre-made ahead of time. That and it's gotten thicker.
Okay.
So what I'm going to have you do, Steph, is I'm just going to have you put just to the top to fill that little cup up.
And then do they just cool to set, or do they go back in the oven?
No, they go into the fridge.
Okay, that would
so
make
they
more
go
sense.
into the fridge. So this is what it looks like in the pan when they're all done.
How long do you have to let them sit? Because that would be a
You're
challenge.
You're going to let them. You're going to want them to sit about 4 hours.
Okay.
So that it sets, or overnight, or you can put it in the freezer.
Okay.
Right.
Just knowing that they're
Just
in
like
there,
an hour
it would be hard not to
in the
disrupt
freezer.
them.
And the other thing too, it looks intimidating to get that out. Let me see where I left my little knife. I'm going to pop on
This
the
is
side.
where spraying the pan.
This is where spraying the pan comes in.
So I'm just going to grab my little knife, and really, they pop out.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at that.
Look at
See?
that.
Oh, my.
Well, Joey, I popped one out for you. Why don't you carve
There
that
you
one in
go.
half so we can dig in, because I've been staring at these.
And they just come out really easy.
What
and
a great recipe.
I don't have anybody to share with.
I guess that means you don't have
Here,
to.
Linda, I'll pass.
So these are vegan, they're soy-free, they are gluten-free.
Yep.
And what a great thing that you can make, honestly, quite easily at home. It's basically a coconut
And you really can
cup
fill
and
it.
chocolate.
Steph and I were talking earlier, and she was saying, you know, key lime filling.
Pudding.
There's
That
a lot
sounds
pudding.
good. Oh, banana pudding in a coconut cup.
There
we
little
go.
strawberry on the top. So there's a lot of versatility. The recipe is on the website.
Perfect.
And also we posted on our website some of the utensil tips, so you can go to glenfamilybakery.com.
Oh, we love
and
it.
You can check that out.
All right, good job over there. I'm still
Linda.
working. All right, thank you, Lisa. Glen Family Bakery offering so many yummies. Joey, what did you find?
I'm just diving. I'm doing a little tour.
A donut muffin.
Oh.
He's eating everything he can find. All right, thanks for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day. Take some time. Enjoy the Suncoast view.